Epimanly for the well-groomed man of the 90s. Epimanly gently removes unsightly nose hairs, and because Epimanly takes the hair from the root, you can go longer between trimmings. Epimanly's patented lift and yank action gently lifts and yanks the hair from the root. Epimanly's turbine rotary blades cast a gentle breeze over your face. Epimanly for the well-groomed man of the 90s. Sold at fine stores everywhere.
Epimanly.
Epimanly for the well-groomed man of the 90s.
Do you love to shop, but hate all those pesky bills? With American Express, there's never a bill. We just quietly take it all back. We repossess all your stuff and the stuff of your family. Remember, American Express. Don't overcharge without it.
Yes, don't overcharge without it. Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going on a quest for truth together. Here we are now, friends. Why, it's Friday night and everything's right for the weekend. Crazy clothes and anything goes on the weekend. Oh, yeah. John called Ann and Jim got Sue. I made a date with little old you. Off we went to make a big dent on the weekend. Oh, yeah, we're making that big old dent in the weekend, just like Eddie Cochran sang so many decades ago. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, I think we've chatted enough here. We had 2 ads because, you know, my sponsors, I couldn't do this without the tremendous support I get from my sponsors. And as you may know, I don't take just any sponsor. There's a very strict set of criteria that they must fall under. Otherwise, I just can't have them. And one of those being they have to be fake, phony, and false. They have to be funny. And that's it. Oh, boy. Well, there you go. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, let's go over to Chatlandia and see what's happening right on over there. Shall we now? Oh, we shall. Oh, my goonie. There's a lot of people here. Well, look at this. Why, it's Catherine Weiss. This Weiss 123. She's one of our Ultramods. She says, hi, Aaron. And then she says, I'll be over on YouTube tonight. And I said, hi, Kathy. Okay. Thank you. Mods, ultra mods are very important since they help the show to work. All right. And Kathy says hi to Peggy. Now, I know that Peggy wasn't there when she said that, but I think she said that because she was leaving Rumble and she was going to YouTube. So she wanted to leave that there because she knew that Peggy would be coming along, as she always does. She's also a very great ultra mod. And she says, hi, Peggy. And then I said, hi, Chatlandians over there on YouTube. And then Kathy says, hi, Aaron, over on YouTube. And then I said, hi, Kathy, over on YouTube. And we're simulcasting on YouTube now again because I got my channel back. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. Boy, just don't believe it. But it's happening. I mean, every single show is non-monetizable, and I'm not monetized anymore. They make you climb that ladder all over again. So yeah, it's I just like Rumble better, but that's just me. And Cap 78 Pack says, hi, Aaron. Hi, Weiss123. Hi, Kathy. And that's Peggy Dancer, another one of our Ultra mods. And I said, hi, Peggy. And look who's here. Why, it's Mud Rabbit, another one of our Ultra mods. She says, hi, everyone. Smiley face. And then I said, Mud Rabbit said, hey, Aaron. Hi, Catherine. And then Kathy says, hi, Mud Rabbit. And Chronaviewer over here on Rumble says, hi, Aaron. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Peggy. hi, Chroniviewer. And I said, hi, Chroniviewer, and hello, Mrs. Pinkerton, too, if you're on out there somewhere. Oh, and I want to thank Chroniviewer and Mrs. Pinkerton for liking my posts on X and for sharing the post. So thank you so much. That's really awesome. Oh, and that's the USA Trump mug shot and another flag. They don't show up. And then Chroniviewer does the same thing. 2 flags with Trump mugshot in the middle. Then I said, hiya, Mud Rabbit. And then Cap 78 Pack says, hello, Chroniviewer. That's Peggy Dancer. And Kathy says, hi, Chroniviewer. And Chroniviewer does the dancing banana that we can't see because, I don't know, something wrong with StreamYard doesn't pick that up. And then Mud Rabbit says, hi, Peggy, over on Rumble. And Mud Rabbit says, it's happening. Yes, it is. Sure is. It's so nice to see. And Cap 78 Pack says, hi there, Mud Rabbit. And a heart. Look at that. And Chroniviewer says, you're welcome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I just wanted to let you know. I noticed that, and I think it's really cool. Very cool. All righty, Aphrodite. You know, Trump came out and basically is scolding Marjorie Taylor Greene, removing his backing for her. And I think maybe Trump is taking cues from the people who surround him, the people who are giving him advice. Because I don't think I've ever seen Marjorie Taylor Greene be super pro-Israel, which is what a lot of these people, a lot of these dual citizen people, and so I can see why someone like that would want to get people like her, just America first people, out. But I don't know. I still like Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is acting a strangely confident lately, so I don't know what is going on with her. But I do know she's endured a lot of swats and a lot of terrible things and death threats and things. So I still hope. I still hope that boy, whatever she's doing to bug Trump or the people around Trump, I hope that it all gets smoothed over, because I think she is a good patriot deep down. Oh, and Chroniviewer says, Mrs. Pinkerton is downstairs babysitting, and I'm upstairs in my new apartment. I moved. Oh, awesome. Awesome. And then Cap 78 Pack says, hey, Chroniviewer, does Mrs. Pinkerton go to Dr. Judy Pinkerton, or is it someone else? Go by Dr. Judy Pinkerton. And then, no, her real name is Lori. I came up with the Pinkerton monikers for us, Mr. and Mrs. Pinkerton. Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. Thank you. Just wondering who this Dr. Judy is all. Okay. All righty. Well, I think we're going to go on over to, where are we going to go? Did you see the thumbnail for tonight? That's up here in Door County, up in Ephraim, I believe. And there's this big building right on a dock, and everyone signs their name on it. And it's kind of like a iconic place. Oh, and Kathy just said, hi, Aaron. Oh, did she just say that? I thought you already said that. Maybe something's happening with the shuffling of the messages on StreamYard here. And so let's go over to the Book of Faces, the land of Zuckers, whatever you want to call it. But here we are, and there we go. There is that thumbnail. Look at that. The northern lights shining so bright up here in Door County, Wisconsin. Look at that. Episode number 697, full disclosure. Oh, yeah. Maybe not full. I can't get to everything in one episode. On Clandestine put this out. The Dems just attempted to extort the American people for health care for illegal aliens as part of their broader scheme of stealing elections via illegals voting. The Dems are desperate to prevent the public from recognizing their treason, hence the distractions, hoaxes. Yes. And they're trying all the hoaxes again, and nothing ever works. They're throwing that spaghetti on the wall, and it just doesn't work. Oh, what's this? Epstein Island visitors list, which we've all seen numerous times. Apparently, some of the Democrats haven't seen it yet. I don't know why. Why not? But Trump's name is definitely not on there. You can see Justin Trudeau, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Barack Obama, Alan Dershowitz, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Prince Charles, Prince Andrew, Michelle Obama, no Trump. And yeah, they're so. This photograph is, or these photographs, actually, it might even be a video of a supposed UFO rising up, and it's giving off all this smoke and lights. And yet, you know what? From 1989 in Nashville, Tennessee, you know, I saw Boston in concert, and they had like a UFO, like they have on their album cover with the city of Boston on top of it. They had that above their venue when I saw them in Minneapolis. And it looked a lot like that. So I don't know. I just don't think this is a real UFO. It looks too Hollywood or stage prop looking to me. Don't you think? I don't know. But it's making its rounds again for some reason. And knowledge is power. They put a lot of weird stuff out there. You know that? There it is. Donald Trump. Truth this out. The Democrats are doing everything in their withering power, everything in their withering power to push the Epstein hoax again, despite the DOJ releasing 50,000 pages of documents in order to deflect from all of their bad policies and losses, especially the shutdown, embarrassment. Where their party is in total disarray and has no idea what to do. They don't know what to do. Some weak Republicans have fallen into their clutches because they are soft and foolish. Epstein was a Democrat. He is the Democrats' problem, not the Republicans' problem. Ask Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, and Larry Summers about Epstein. They know all about him. Don't waste your time with Trump. I have a country to run. Oh, yeah. There he is. There he is again. Oh, look at this. Jeff Foxworthy, my good friend Jeff Foxworthy, put this out. Look at this. If online dating isn't working out, you can, he's try this. WD-40 for men. Cologne. Cologne, you might even say. 100 milliliters. Oh, WD-40. Do you know why they call it WD-40? Because WD1 failed, WD2 failed, WD3 failed, all the way up to 1939 or 39, and then 40 finally worked. And I just found out something about WD-40 that I did not know, and maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but you'll know now after I tell you if this is true. You never know. I heard it on the internet. What is the main ingredient in WD-40? There are all kinds of chemicals, but there's one main ingredient. Do you know what it is? There's one ingredient where there's more of that than anything else. Main ingredient of WD-40. Fish oil. Fish oil. I never would have guessed that. You know, that's just weird to me. But hey, oh, Mud Rabbit says silicone. Nope, not silicone. Fish oil. Can you believe it? Well, I guess that makes sense. It does a great job, and it's partly natural, so that's the natural part that's maybe doing all that. Cap 78 pack, watered down 40% petroleum oil or fish oil. It is fish oil. I'm not sure what else it has in it, but I'll have to look that up. You can tune a harp, but you can't tune a fish. That's right. Classic. That's a classic. Alrighty then. Well, here we go. What's this? Oh, from the Babylon Bee. New nickel loafers. Shoe manufacturers rush to design new nickel loafers because, of course, the pennies are no more. They went and struck the last penny. They minted the last batch of pennies, and no more pennies, folks. But they'll be in circulation for a long time because there's millions of them out there. Although I've started to buy them up, so maybe not too long. You better hurry up and get your pennies before I get them all. That's right. All right. And you know what else? They show up a nickel in here. I used to wear penny loafers all the time. Back, like, I don't know, in the 80s, 90s. I wore penny loafers all the time. But I didn't have a penny in them. I put a quarter in mine. So I had 2 quarters in my penny loafers. And yes, they fit in the loafers I had, black penny loafers. And I'm telling you, back then, before cell phones, that came in handy because my car stalled on the highway. And I had to run across the highway to a payphone. And I went to the payphone. I reached in my pocket, reached in both pockets, nothing in my pockets. And my head kind of went down because I'm like, oh man, I don't have any. I looked at my penny loafers. Oh yeah, I got quarters. It took both of those quarters because the first call, something happened and it ate my quarter. And then the second quarter, it worked and I got help. So there you go. Your penny loafers could help you someday. Maybe if you travel back in time and there are payphones again. I guess it won't work anymore. I'm glad I did. LOL. Trump derangement syndrome to be declared a mental illness in U.S. What you need to know. From Jonathan Gregory. Pathologists report surge in Trump fixated patients. Media's hate campaign fuels epidemic of derangement syndrome. I'm glad they said that. Media's hate campaign fuels epidemic of derangement syndrome. Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, isn't that, I could have told you that. All right. Oh, darn it. Diamond and Silk. Justine, Trump vindicated after Dems are forced to backtrack and delete shock Epstein allegation. That's totally not true. But there's Bill Clinton and Ghislaine, however you say it, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein himself. And this might be at the White House because, Hillary Clinton invited Jeffrey Epstein to the White House 17 times. 17 times. Imagine that. Now, I wonder why it was 17 times. Isn't that just so interesting? Interdasting, you might even say. Oh, and have you ever thought about Turkey? You think about the pyramids in Egypt and Peru and Mexico with all the pyramids and whatnot. What about Turkey? Check this out. This guy does pretty cool videos. Check it out.
You want a real rabbit hole? We're going to Turkey. Turkey has some of the wildest stuff on the planet, hands down. Who makes it? Look at this. This is Eagle Castle. I'm probably butchering that name, but does that not look like a pillar to you? Like a giant pillar? That's huge. Look at the boat. There's a rock-cut monastery that you can go inside, just like the one in Ethiopia. When you go inside this one, it's decorated head to toe like a cathedral. Turkey is ancient. We have megalithic architecture and rock-cut temples in Sorna, the city of oracles, and the ancient theater of Side rivals the Colosseum in Rome. It's insane. Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe are also in Turkey. These two push civilization back 5,000 years from what we thought. They were buried really fast, like something was happening outside. The fact that every ancient culture has a flood myth would make Derinkuyu make sense. It's an 8-story underground city with locking doors, water access, and air vents. 20,000 people can live in this city, and it is connected by a 5-mile-long tunnel to Kemakli, another underground city, forming a network of over 200 underground cities in Turkey. Its next-door neighbor, Armenia, has a megalithic avenue similar to Karnak in France, making this whole area the most mysterious thing I've ever seen. Have fun with that rabbit hole. You want a real rabbit hole?
There you go.
We're going to Turkey.
Turkey. Where, and I verified this, you can go to Turkey and you can order, in some places, a turkey sandwich. So you can be in Turkey eating turkey. And I just think that should be on everyone's bucket list. Don't you think? Oh, I think. Oh, and here's a 5-year bump. One of those mirror images that I created from a nebula. And it's just like a, like a galactic kaleidoscope. It's just so, you create these beautiful images. It's just amazing. I won't be able to create any more because the confuser I was using to do this is no more. And I can't get it revived. So there you go. Maybe someday I'll get another one. Oh, look, it's James Rohrback. Hey, y'all. Hey, James. And don't forget, thanks, Kathy, for putting that out there. Please like and share this video with your friends, family, and social media. It helps the algo rhythm, the algo beat, and the algo melody. It surely does. All those algo things, doesn't it now? Oh, yeah. All righty, Aphrodite. Well, let's move on from that. Oh, look at this. This is pretty cool. From Brandon Wilkinson. Of course, AI is the #1 printed artist in the last half year, I think. Here it is. Too funny. So epic. The Democrats shut down. Okay. Ooh. I can hardly read that. The Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done in the shutdown. And so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. The Democrats cost the country $1.5 trillion with their recent antics of viciously closing our country, while at the same time putting many at risk. And they should pay a fair price. There should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else, and any Republican involved should be focused only on opening up. Yeah, I guess the government's already open, isn't it? Oh, you know what? Today I saw the first chemtrail I've seen since the country shut down. So we need to shut it down again.
Mama, what are those white streaks in the sky called again?
Those are chemtrails.
No, they're contrails. It's when the hot, humid exhaust from an airplane mixes with the cold, low-pressure air at high altitudes. It's just water vapor turning into ice crystals.
How do streaks of water vapor control the weather?
Well, they don't.
Yeah, how does the water vapor block out the sun and divert the hurricanes?
I don't think.
This is the first time I've seen them in a long time.
Didn't the government just reopen?
How long has it been since you've seen them?
About a month. 43 days to be exact.
Oh, boy.
Mama, what are those white streaks in the sky called?
Chemtrails. That's right, kids. You got it. Today's kids want an iPhone. When I was a kid, I just wanted the Crayola 64 pack with the built-in sharpener. And that's true. That is one heck of a true meme right there. for me anyway. It was very magical. Wow, it comes with a sharpener built in. It's like amazing, right? So amazing. You know what? Americans want to be as happy as the residents of Martha's Vineyard were when they deported all of their illegal immigrants. Yeah, they were pretty happy. Imagine that. 5,000 dead people getting SNAP. 500,000 getting benefits twice. Yeah. Wow. 500,000 getting benefits twice. Now, that's just not fair to the rest of us, is it? Or the rest of the people getting it, or the people that can't get it, because those people are getting it. And yeah, so that's that. And what's this? Duffy revokes 17,000 unlawfully issued commercial licenses from illegal immigrants in California. Yeah, Newscomb gave out 17,000, not 16,000, not 18,000, 17,000 bogus driver's licenses, commercial driver's license. They're killing people all over the highways in every state. They come from California, and that's good job, Mr. Duffy. He's way better than Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, and he doesn't spend any time with breastfeeding with fake boobs like Buttigieg did. What a and remember what Buttigieg did? He was looking into how bridges are racist. Remember that? Oh, bridges are so racist. Look at that racist bridge over there. My God. And Cece put this out. Epstein is the new Russia. The media never stops lying. I agree. Thanks, Don Everson, for sharing that out there. Oh, look at this. Kevin Rowe, U.S. Department of Memes official, put this out. And he says, I installed switches on my car's dash that don't do anything. When someone gets in my car, I look at them in the eye and say, buckle up. And I start flipping switches in what appears to be a purposeful order. Then I'll drive like a grandma while refusing to answer any questions about the switches. That's my kind of humor. I can see doing that. That would be epic. Boy, wouldn't that be just so much fun? See how much fun you can have on this planet if you just really try. Obamacare sucks. Here's Donald J. Trump showing that stock prices before Obamacare, now this is 10 years ago, going from like 35 or under 80, 41 to 47 to hundreds. I mean, you could probably see the thing better than I can. I can't hardly see that little type there. But their stock went up to many hundreds per share from less than 100. So that's bizarre. Here's another way to have fun, folks. Truth Quest always shows you the way to have fun. From Zeducation. Confuse future archaeologists by burying your pet squirrel in a full military uniform. Yeah, you'll have them just really wondering about that now, won't you? $10,000 bonus. She was handing out $10,000 bonuses to all these TSA agents that came to work with no pay. I don't know, man. TSA agents, I mean, okay, they're patriots because they showed up because they didn't get a pay. Maybe they showed up because they're perverts and they like to pat people down. I don't know. Those people shouldn't get the bonus. Oh, look at this. Did you know this? Here's some interesting facts from Josh Sirius here. Falcons can live up to 12 to 15 years old. Oh, that's interesting. All falcons alive today were born in the 21st century. Oh, there's another interesting tidbit. What's this? They're all millennial falcons. Yes, they are. Oh, I like that one. I see what you did there. Here is a post that Charlie Kirk put out back when he was alive, and It's very, very telling. It's a chart that shows couples over 30 that own a home. And in 1950, there was over 50%. And in 1960, it went up maybe a couple points. So it was going up from 1950 to 1960. Big boom in home ownership for young people. But then 1970, it goes down to about 50% even, then down to 40%. And then it keeps going down. And look at this. It's about a little bit more than 5% at 2020 or 2022, maybe. That is really, really sad. Quite sad indeed. Wow. That is very, very sad. Look at this. This is great. A little slice of vintage life. Knitted Blacavia ski masks from a 70s craft magazine. Oh, yeah. Oh, you got that hard to shop for person on your list? Get yourself some yarn. Find one of these old patterns, and boy, are they going to be shocked. And they might actually like it. It might be an improvement on their looks. You never know. Look at that. I just think that's so funny. So funny. Oh. Look at that. Oh my goonie. Oh my goonie. Look at that, would ya? They sure knew how to stay warm in style back in the 70s, didn't they? James Rohrbeck says, I need one in blackface. Yeah. Oh, so funny. I like the look on this kid with the red he's got his eyebrow up like, do I really have to be in this photo? No, don't worry, kid. Nobody knows who we are. Plus, you're a grandfather by now, so there's that. Oh, so funny. Here it is. The last cent for circulation struck in Philadelphia, November 12th, 2025. And this is a great picture of the penny. And I really am sad that the penny's going, because I really think that this sculpture of Abraham Lincoln is one of the best sculptures on any coin from any country. And it's actually so good that the artist signed his initials right here. You can see him, VDB, but you can see little indentations here right on this shoulder, because in 1909, when they switched to this artist's penny from the Indian head penny, on the back between the wheaters, he put really big VDB, his initials, and they struck about so many of them, not very many of them. And they went, wait a minute, you can't put your initials on here. Take it off. They made him take it off of the original, his sculpture. And then he put it back on the front under that beveled shoulder blade, and they didn't detect it. I don't know if they ever knew it was there, because it's so small and inconspicuous. And once the coin gets dirty, you can't see it unless you have a magnificent glass like I got here, like a magnificent glass. There you go, the penny. Breaking, there it is. Democrats just blocked Representative Tim Burchett's push to bring the Epstein files straight to the House floor. Yep, they don't want that. It costs 3 cents to make a penny. Now it doesn't make sense. Yes, I think it costs like 11 cents to make a nickel. So shouldn't they have stopped that too? They should make holographic coins. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh, don't you love these Democrats? Democrats in October. This is Trump's shutdown. He's keeping the government closed. Democrats in November. I can't believe Democrats caved and reopened the government. You can't have it both ways, folks. I mean, the hypocrisy that you have to live with daily being a dim. I don't know. That's probably where they get their Trump derangement syndrome. Do you hear about this? New California law requires booster seat for kids and teens ages 8 to 16. So you're 16 years old enough to drive, and you got to have a booster? You've got to be kidding me. So you give illegal aliens CDL licenses, but you're making 16-year-old kids sit in a booster? Gavin, really? This is what you're doing to try to be president? What an idiot. I'm sorry, but dumb Dems, LOL, yeah. Oh, look who's here. Why, it's Skylark 74. Hello, Skylark 74. He says, greetings, fellow truth questers. Newscom's an idiot. Yes, he is an idiot. He's like the best idiot. That's the only thing he does good. Idiot. And Kathy says, hi, Skylark. And James Rohrbach says, kids will hate the Dems. Yeah. Yeah. You have to get sized. Oh, yeah? Oh, and that's Mini Moog 1. Good to see you here. And Mud Rabbit says, guys, I'm losing control over my eyelids. Good night and much love. Thanks, Mud Rabbit. I hope you have a good dream. Skylark says, hello, Peggy. Hello, Chroniviewer. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Kathy. Switching to Roku. Oh, all right. That's awesome. Then we'll be in TV land officially, won't we? Oops. And Kathy says, sweet dreams, Mud Rabbit. Oh, size for a booster seat in Cali. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. 16 years old. James Rohrbach. Blacks are waking up from the plantation and Dems as well. Yes. And Skylark says, good night, Mud Rabbit. All right. Well, booster seats. Disney removed the terms diversity, inclusion, and DEI from its annual business report for the first time in 5 years after its recent fourth quarter meeting. Yeah, they better do something or you're going to lose the wonderful world of Disney that you had there. Oh, Georgia Garden Center. They always have insights here they post. Let's see what they say. Oh, if your parents never had children, chances are you won't either. Probably not. Probably not, I would say. And Cap 78 Pack says, good night, Mud Rabbit. Rest well, my friend. Yes. And let's see here. Oh, when did America stop being great? When this clown was elected twice. Yeah. He actually looks better in an outfit like that, doesn't he? He should be a clown. California 3, yeah, we already saw that. Right Side Broadcasting. AG Pam Bondi sues California over Governor Newsom's Prop 50 redistricting power grab. Go get him, Pam. Oh, and there is that picture here from Door County from Ephraim. Where is Ephraim? He's from Ephraim. He's from Ephraim. That's a little bit north of here. I'm in Sturgeon Bay. Aurora's at Anderson. Luke Collins Photography. Frogtography, you might even say. And what's this? Midnight Rider's Truth. Trump today, the key word here is dividend. We're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. Trillions of dollars have been taken in from or gotten in terms of investment from the tariffs. Notice he didn't say stimulus, he said dividend. A dividend is a payment made by a corporation to its shareholders. Dividend. A dividend is payment made by a corporation to its shareholders, usually in the form of cash or additional shares of stock. It represents a portion of the company's profits or retained earnings that is distributed as a reward to investors for owning the company's stock. Isn't that interesting? If payments like Trump's $2,000 tariff dividend became permanent, it could be the seed of the U.S. sovereign wealth fund. Remember that? He mentioned that too. Tariffs feed a national investment pool. Profits from that pool fund annual citizen dividends. Isn't that beautiful? Basically, tariffs fund investments, dividends, citizens, a self-sustaining America fund. The golden age. Oh yeah, we're there, baby. We're there. Oh, did you know about this? In the early 60s, the U.S. Coast Guard received letters from the public asking why the castaways on the TV show Gilligan's Island hadn't been rescued yet. What are you guys doing? They're near Hawaii. Get out there and find them. One of those letters might have been from me, because I went to my mom and I said, Mom, we need to get a boat. I think I know where they are. We can save them. I really, really thought that was real. Still, I think it might be. Ba-doom-pa. Look at this. Meteorologist Chris Vickers. Wow, the northern lights visible from NOAA satellite from Tuesday evening, November 11th, during the severe G4 magnetic storm. Hoping for a repeat this evening. Look at this. Look at that. You can see right where the wave hits the earth there. Look at that. And I'm just right down here. I went outside. I couldn't see anything. There's a lot of lights around here, though, in the area I live in. Look at this car. A 1965 Impala wagon, Chevy Impala wagon. Look how cool this is. I've never seen a 65 Impala with this. Is this chrome or just painted silver? This is so cool on the side to accentuate that feature in the body there. That is really cool. It really makes it look hot. And I always liked these taillights in the 65 Chevy. And I even was going to use these taillights on my first car, which was I never got it running, was a 1934 Chevrolet. And this was just the right angle to be on the slope of the back of that my old Chevy. So there you go. Beautiful car. And a wagon. Not too bad. Oh, look. Northern Lights, Southern Lights, Waffle House. Oh, yeah. Well, I'd say the Southern Lights are a little more tasty. I'm not writing ahead.com. Put that out. Oh, I'd say so. Just kidding. I love these memes. She looks like she's really telling you something. This is a great meme. No matter what it says, it's always great. Notice Hunter Biden isn't on any executive boards anymore? Odd, huh? Yeah, gee. Now that his dad doesn't have a place of influence and he's not on any boards. Isn't that interesting? You're destroying my legacy. We need to talk man to man. Okay, put Michelle on the phone. Yeah, do that. Oh, always obey road signs. You're coming to a stop sign. You can't go straight. You can't go right. And you can't go left. Why isn't there a whole bunch of cars backed up here? You're going to have to break the law some way to get out of this situation. What are you going to do? Todd Wilbur put that out. Dilemma of the week. Yeah, what are you going to do? I can see, some people would be sitting there for a long time. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Look, there's a lake right over here, too. Look at that, will you? John Solomon was told to share this. America's Voice News.
I was on the way to the airport yesterday. Actually, I was in the airport, and my phone rang. I picked it up, and it was President Trump. And I'm always humbled when this happens, because the natural way this conversation goes is, what you up to, Mr. President? And then he rattles off things like, well, world peace and getting rid of terrorists, blowing them out of the water, and signing executive orders. And I never have anything to counter that's even close to what he does. And so that's how it goes. What you doing, Mr. President? Oh, I just got off the phone with Vlad Putin, and now I'm going to go see Zelensky. We're going to make world peace, and I'm not going to do this, the missiles, and I'm feeling really inadequate. And then something pops in my mind. I'm like, he doesn't know yet that I'm going to Moms for Liberty. He's going to be impressed. So he says, there's a speaker in the background. He's like, where are you, John? I'm like, I'm in the airport, sir. He says, are you with anyone? I'm like, I'm with my wife. She said, put him on. So my wife starts talking to the president for like 20 minutes. They're solving world peace. I'm sitting there just watching. He tells my wife, would you please put John back on? I said, okay. So Mr. President, thank you. He said, all right, I want you to deliver a special message to those amazing ladies at Moms for Liberty. He said, first, thank them, because I know they helped me win the election last year. I could not have done it with them being in the trenches, right? You know it. He knows it. Then he went a little step further. He said, but first, I want to thank them for stepping into the void and going to those school board meetings and making sure that their children were safe, that they were not indoctrinated, that they wouldn't run into pornographic books in schools, that they wouldn't have to stand on a podium with a man when they were a girl in women's sports. They stepped into the void, and there is no more fearsome fighting force than a group of moms. And so from the president, from this reporter, I want to pass that on. It was pretty fun and organic moment.
Isn't that neat? Can you imagine the president calling you up? Can you imagine climbing up a side of a skyscraper, being a crime fighter, and seeing Sammy Davis Jr. pop out? Well, this is what happened to the real crime fighters of Batman and Robin. Maybe, maybe not.
Hey, Batman and Robin. What are you guys doing?
Just routine crime fighting.
Would you like to come inside? I'm rehearsing.
Thank you, citizen, but our pursuit of justice allows us few diversions.
Oh, be seen. Hi, Robin. Hey, you guys come and catch my act sometime. I dig yours. All right, fellas, one more time. From a whippoorwill. Hey!
It's so funny. Well, it was a great show. It was a great show. Scotty Moore for Florida. Open your mind, open your eyes. Let's see what this is.
There's an unholy alliance between the intelligence community, the media, and the Democrats. And they all talk to each other, they leak to each other, they make stuff up, and then they echo chamber it, and then they go after the people they don't like, especially Donald Trump and anyone around him. And the way they do it, then is they came to me, they came to other people, and accused me of crimes, perjury, other crimes. They hadn't committed them. There was no evidence of them. They knew that. But they also knew that they could bankrupt, and they could bankrupt people. And what they do is, because you have to pay for your own legal defense, you don't get reimbursed. Your insurance plan doesn't pay you back. My legal fees had gotten to the point where they were approaching $1 million. And I said to my husband at a certain point, gee, maybe I should just plead guilty to something. I mean, we're going to go bankrupt. This is going to be the rest of my life. And they either want me to plead guilty, or the implication was I would finger Donald Trump for having committed crimes that I knew he hadn't committed. And there was a point at which I wanted to throw it in. Everybody else was kind of, copying deals or admitting to crimes they hadn't committed. There's an unholy alliance.
Isn't that sad? KT McFarland, former advisor to President Trump. Isn't that just sick what they've done to people? They've really damaged the country tremendously. I've seen beings. Tim Burchett, check this out.
Yeah, I've seen beings. There's a movie coming out. If something is here, it's likely been here longer than humans have even been civilized. So it really opens the question. And actually, it's something that I think Charles Fort actually said is, Earth is probably somebody else's property.
These are entities that are here on this Earth, that have been on this Earth, that who knows how long, and that we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here.
I guess so. I was interested in it because I've been asked so many times, and I talked to people that have said that they've, it was a sighting. And it's very believable. It's very possible that there
I
is
always remember the last thing this one high-ranking official told me as he left my office. He was right close to me as I am to my phone in my barn right now. And he said, Tim, they're real.
Yeah, I've seen beings. There's a movie coming out.
They're real. They are. I've seen craft myself, and there's no doubt that it's real. Did you hear this? Now, I do not like this guy right here, Cuomo, at all. But he asks Eric Trump, "Oh, do you think that your dad is going after his political enemies?" And listen to this. This is his answer.
Did we raid Biden's home? Did we try and bankrupt Biden? Did they come after us? Did we weaponize every AG and DA, against Biden? Do we do that against Hunter Biden, who had a laptop from hell, pictures of cocaine, illicit drug use, prostitution? Did we do that? Did we make up a dirty dossier about Biden? Did they try and destroy Biden's marriage? Was any of that true? I mean, did we make up stories that Biden had secret servers in the basement of his home communicating with the Kremlin in Russia? Did we strip Biden off the ballot of multiple states? Did we take Biden off of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and try and silence his voice so he couldn't communicate? Did we put Biden in a courtroom every single day? 91 felony counts that have all been overturned for my father now, right? For nonsense, to try and keep him off of a campaign trail and to try and destroy his life. Did we do any of that? And the answer is no. I mean, if Comey lied and Republicans want to prosecute him, okay, then you know how many people they went after for perjury?
Yeah. That's a great little spiel he gave there. And Cuomo just sitting there looking like an idiot, because he is. All right. Breaking news from federal courts about the Federal Reserve. Let's check this out. Bannon.
In breaking news today from federal courts about the Federal Reserve, James Fishback joins us. When we left you, I think on Thursday, James, Friday, you were getting ready to go to court. On Monday, you went to court. Give us some breaking news, sir.
Good afternoon, Steve. We just learned that Obama Judge Beryl Howell has not granted our temporary restraining order to force open tomorrow's Federal Reserve meeting. We did get two huge wins. The Federal Reserve asked to dismiss our case. That was swiftly denied by a judge who was appointed by President Obama. So we were thankful for that. And the second win, and I couldn't even believe this, Steve, that it happened, but the Federal Reserve revealed something in open court that we didn't even know about. That legally speaking, tomorrow's Federal Reserve meeting is actually a joint meeting of two separate legal entities. The first of which is the Federal Open Market Committee, the FOMC, Steve, that sets the interest rates in the entire economy. The second entity is the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve. Now, why does that matter? Why does it matter, this joint meeting? Because the Board of Governors, their lawyers conceded in federal court today, is actually subject to the transparency mandates of public observation from the Sunshine Act. And so when you have a joint meeting between a entity like the Board of Governors that is subject and an entity that is not subject, the FOMC, the entire meeting becomes subject to the Sunshine Act. I looked to our counsel at our table in the court today, and we just could not believe that the Federal Reserve admitted that in open court, something that we were not even privy to, that these meetings are being held as joint meetings, which mean they are absolutely subject to the transparency disclosures of the Sunshine Act. Steve, you and the War Room audience knows this well. The Federal Reserve is among the most powerful economic institutions in the country, and without a doubt, it is the least transparent and least accountable. We are changing that. Today was a win for our fight. We had no illusions about how easy this would be, but we're not going to end the Fed in one day. And I'm grateful for our attorneys and our entire team at Azoria for the win that we had today in court.
In breaking news today from federal courts about the...
That's awesome, because if they can get enough information from these meetings through the Freedom of Information Act to show that they are not what they purport to be, then we can call all that money we owe them null and void because they're they're a illegal entity. And I hope that happens. And then we wouldn't have to owe anybody 37 trillion. And we would have we'd have more money because a lot of our money goes towards our debt. So yeah, that's and James Rohrback says, did Bannon work with Jeffrey Epstein to make a movie? And the answer is yes. And Cap 78 Pack Bacon says, yes, Bannon did work with Jeffrey Epstein on a movie, and it will be released soon. Yeah, it hasn't been released yet. I didn't know that it was going to be released soon, but it has not been released yet. The original whistleblower was Frank Scully in his book Behind the Flying Saucers, 1950. Okay. Is Dark Brain on Rumble? I don't think he's in the show tonight, but he usually is on Rumble, I believe. Yeah. Yep. So that was good. Well, I think we're going to skip that. Oh, here it is. More bat action you say you wanted. Well, here you go.
Look, it's Batman.
Oh, dear. Like one big happy family, huh?
Hey, the real Batman.
Follow me. It's the real me, chum.
Batman, look, Mr. Freeze. Look, it's Batman.
Look at many Batmen. How you like that? We need to break Hank out of lunch detention. Lunch detention one day. Hank Beanie, grade 6th. Student was covering his ears while CNN was on. He was asked to stop and listen to the video. He replied, I don't want to listen to Democrats. And he continued to cover his ears. Tessa House. Oh, good for you, Hank Beanie. He's going places, I can just tell you right now. Good for you, Hank Beanie. Oh, look at Auroras across America. Look at that. Here's Wisconsin. Look at every single state. Nevada, sort of. Almost every single state. Yeah. I don't know if these are in Michigan. Upper Michigan got it. So there you go. There you have it. Almost every single state. And there's our last show. So we're done on Facebook. How do you like that? Oh, and Skylark says, Mr. Scully was giving the reader secondhand accounts, but he claimed his informants were magnetic scientists. Wow. And it's ex-runaway goldfish. Hello, ex-runaway goldfish. Good to see you here. Over there on YouTube. We're back on YouTube. Isn't that nice? And I got your message on our first show, so thank you, ex-runaway goldfish. Great name. James Rohrback. Aaron, are you not on pill.net foxhole? No, I'm not. I was only on Rumble. First, I was only on YouTube. Then I was only on Rumble. And I guess there was a brief period where I was on both Rumble and YouTube, but I never went live on Rumble until YouTube went away. So I'm streaming on both platforms. It's a lot to keep track of. And, you know, I tried to do the foxhole thing, but it was, for one thing, I've been on the foxhole pill.net numerous times. I still don't know how anything works. It's not user friendly for me, not for me. and it's just something weird. I don't know. And someone was trying to help me, very helpful person. And I don't know. It was beyond my, anyway. I would have liked to have, but I don't know. I'm happy on Rumble and on YouTube now. I'm mostly happy on Rumble. So I like Rumble. You need to go there. I people have said that to me. I've checked it out. I really don't even know. It's so much more for me to learn, and you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Kind of true. And I'm like an old dog, don't you know? Kind of like an old dog. Well, alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, let's go right on over there to X marks the spot for news. And let's cruise on over there, shall we now? Here we are. And it's at Aaron J. Moriarity, if you're wondering, on X. Oh, I should put my YouTube thing. I haven't thought about doing that. So there you go. Here we are. And Trump is going to sue the BBC, even though they apologized. He's going to go ahead and sue them for, let's listen to it.
BBC has apologized and retracted the report, but they say they won't pay any compensation.
Well,
is that enough?
We'll sue them for anywhere between $1 billion and $5 billion, probably sometime next week.
So you're ready? BBC has apologized and
$5 billion. That's $5 billion. Do you know how much money that is, folks? That's more money than I make in an entire week. Yes. Even with my sponsors like Lens Crackers, Apple Manly, American Access Card, Splint, Long Distance, all those great sponsors, I still don't make $5 billion a week. Not yet. Donald Trump put this out. Did Thomas Massey, sometimes referred to as Rand Paul Jr., because of the fact that he always votes against the Republican Party, get married already? Boy, that was quick. Remember, his wife was murdered in a car explosion or something. No wonder the polls have him at less than an 8% chance of winning the election. Anyway, have a great life, Thomas. And his wife will soon find out that she's stuck with a loser. Oh, God. You don't want to be on his bad side. You just don't. They burned Thomas Crooks's body. That's almost like demolishing a school. Remember, they demolished Sandy Hook? Yeah, they cover things up that they don't want you finding out. That's my opinion. Oh, Elon Musk, incredible medical care for all. Well, let's listen to what the man says himself. Oops.
So imagine a world where everyone has access to the best surgeons, literally everyone. And Optimus will have a level of precision that is frankly superhuman, and will be able to do medical procedures, of very sophisticated medical procedures, any medical procedure, perhaps things that really humans can't even do because they're too difficult, and that will be available to anyone. People often talk about eliminating poverty and providing great medical care, but they never actually have a solution. And money doesn't solve it because there are only so many. There's a very limited number of great doctors and surgeons. They don't grow on trees, but now they'll get built in factories. So imagine a world where everyone has access to the best surgeons, literally everyone. And Optimus will have a level of precision that is frankly superhuman, and will be able to do medical procedures, of very sophisticated medical procedures.
Yeah, what do you think about that? So people can buy these robots, or they will be able to. So what? You have you have pancreatic cancer, and you tell your Optimus robot to operate on you. I don't have the tools I need. Well, Optimus, make the tools you need, right? I don't know. That's interesting. That's an interesting. He's a very forward-thinking guy. I like the way he thinks. Oops, we're off the rails here again. Here is Red Pill's show. Cooked. Trump demands real Epstein investigation. Yes, they're cooked. They are cooked. Here's Tim Burchett again about Thomas Crooks.
K Ultra.
I'm going to toss to you. That's right. Yep.
They got sued. They said it didn't exist, and then they got sued, and they said, "Oh, it exists, but we don't use it anymore." So I don't believe them as far as I can throw the dome off the dadgum Capitol, Benny. You got a kid who's got access to guns or has some simple knowledge of a firearm. He was programmed. You're exactly right. They programmed this kid, and Kristi Noem and Cash and Bongino and the rest are reporting the facts as they know them. The facts have been buried or burned, or whoever knew is either sitting on a beach somewhere and enjoying a fruity drink, or they're dead. I would suggest they're probably dead. And this is what happens. You claim it doesn't. They label me and you conspiracy theorists, but this is exactly what we see happen. And it happens in Washington. It's happening now. It's too deep. It is. And that's why I said, I wish they could go in and just fire everybody and then just start back. But you can't do that because of security. You're going to fire some good people that are clearly have their thumb in the dike on terrorists or what have you. And that's where we're at. That's why Cash Patel and Bongino are having such a hard time. Kristi Noem, either way, I don't give a rip either way. But I think at their level, that's what's happened. And that's I don't care. You can call me a lunatic, but when the CIA says this thing, we don't have this thing, and then they're brought in, their asses are brought into a court of law, and they say, well, we have it, but we don't use it anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. And the MTG thing, I don't quite understand it. I think, Trump gets advice from all kinds of people. Maybe some of the people that he's getting advice from don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene for one reason or another. And I don't know. I think it's sad. I mean, I think she's a patriot. Attorney General Pam Bondi. Thank you, Mr. President. Southern District of New York, U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton is one of the most capable and trusted prosecutors in the country. And I've asked him to take the lead. As with all matters, the department will pursue this with urgency and integrity to deliver answers to the American people. Yeah, he's asking her to, well, this is her answer to this. Now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats and not Republicans to try and deflect from their disastrous shutdown and all their other failures, I will be asking AG Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, J.P. Morgan Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam with all arrows pointing to the Democrats. Records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein and on his island. Stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned. I love it. Oh, yeah. Holy Schmidt, Clandestine says. Oh, I think that's what we just read. Yeah. All right, let's yeah, here's Trump derangement syndrome again.
Jonathan is in focus with me now. So first of all, identify it for us. You're in a session and you pick up on what?
Well, Harris, it doesn't take long for me to pick up on this. People are obsessed with Trump. They're fixated. They're hyper fixated on Trump, and they talk about some of the features of this disorder. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized by Mr. Trump. They feel restless. I had one patient who said she couldn't enjoy a vacation because anytime she saw Trump in the news or on her device, she felt triggered. So this is a profound pathology, and I would even go so far as to call it the defining pathology of our time.
These people come to you for the things that you described. Can't sleep, traumatized, perhaps depression. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But at first, you are there to treat an illness, a disorder of some kind. And what you figure out is the trigger.
Well, and Trump is the trigger for many of these people. And to be that fixated on a figure, on a person, it's simply not healthy. And our country has strayed so far away from where we once were. If you look at in the 80s when President Reagan was shot, people were united. He famously said, I hope you're all Republicans to the surgeons. And the response was, today, Mr. President, we're all Republicans. But our country has lost that. We've strayed so far from that unity.
Mm-hmm. And what do you see? Because you told me off camera 3/4 of your patient load right now has what you're calling this TDS.
Well, 3/4 of my patients will present with a lot of these symptoms, and within probably 5 minutes of seeing me, their hatred for Trump comes up. So if you're that hyper focused on Trump, that's a real issue, and it's worth being treated.
Yeah, treated. Don't take drugs, though. That's not going to help. Nothing. No. Oh, and here is some footage from the Apollo 20 mission. Check this out. That's Mona Lisa, the alien head they brought back, or body. But this is just her head. We don't need the music. But look at this thing. Now, you see those white tubes going from the eyes to the mouth? They removed those. And what they found, what was talked about later, was they found these little teeny, I don't know if they were robots or beings inside her body, keeping her somewhere between alive and dead. So I don't know. There's some of the handwriting. They found various different handwriting samples that they brought back. They brought all this stuff back. Secret mission, Apollo 20, which they should release. They should declassify this. William Rutledge was the person who leaked this footage. He was one of the 3 astronauts on the mission. So, yeah. Pretty cool, huh? I don't know how you would read that. It's awfully squished together. But it does sort of look like some human handwritings, very similar to human, probably from a long, long time ago. They say that that craft she was found in has been up there millions or billions of years on the moon, on the far side. And Apollo 15 took many photographs of the craft. She was actually found in a triangle craft, much smaller, next to the gigantic craft. It's like 3.5 miles long. Of course, they didn't have enough time to fully investigate that giant craft. I don't think they even got up to it. Mona Lisa, yes. I think we've watched this over and over again, haven't we? Yeah. So that's Mona Lisa, and I do believe that. I think it's true. Here she is, Christy Nome, handing out $10,000.
Appreciate it. Ashley, thank you. Yes. And is Leo here? All right, Leo.
That's awesome.
All right, well, it's a nice moment that we were able to catch live there in Houston, Texas, John, as Christy Nome hands out those checks to those TSA workers who had to hold it down during the shutdown. So, Rico, I want to...
But you know what? I think we could do without the TSA. We should just get rid of it because it's... I don't think they've ever stopped anything from happening. I just think, yeah. There it is. What's this? Oh, cat turd. Mega Gem put this out, replying to cat turd 2. Look at cat turd. He's gonna put the 9-volt battery right up to her nose ring. Yeah. Maybe that will solve her Trump derangement syndrome, you think? I don't think anything can solve it. Julie Donuts, President Trump posts Epstein went to the White House 17 times. Yeah, we already said that, right? Jordan Clark, free Tina Peters now. Gold Star mom with lung cancer, coughing up lung tissue in prison for exposing election fraud in Colorado. We are her voice. We cannot lose her. It's time to handle this matter. We all know the truth. Yes. Free her. My God. Break her out of there. Need to get her out. Cat turd. Oops. Brendan Dilly. Hey, Grok, did Trump help get Epstein convicted with the knowledge he had? Yes. Grok says yes. Trump severed ties with Epstein around 2007 after learning he recruited underage girls at Mar-a-Lago, banning him from the property. Victim's lawyer Bradley Edwards confirmed Trump voluntarily shared useful details about Epstein's activities when contacted, unlike others who stonewalled. This cooperation predated Epstein's lenient 2008 plea and aided exposure efforts through media often overlooks it amid Epstein's unsubstantiated claims. Yes. That's all they talk about is the unsubstantiated. Oh, did you hear about this? Check this out.
Breaking news. House Oversight Chairman James Comer has just issued subpoenas in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Chairman Comer sent one subpoena to the Department of Justice for the complete Epstein files and more for depositions from former officials. Those officials include former attorneys general Bill Barr, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, and Merrick Garland. Also, former FBI directors Robert Mueller and James Comey, and both of these people now, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and her husband, former President Bill Clinton.
Yep, it's about time. It's about time. You hear about this? Skyquake, an unexplained booming noise coming from the sky, caught on camera. Florida. Let's check this out.
So we all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area. I just called 911 and they said they've gotten like over 50 calls about it. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Are we breathing in something we shouldn't be breathing in right now?
I've been analyzing the sound from this, and I believe that it's one of either two things. It's either Godzilla or Mothra. That's right. That's my hypothesis. Hypotenuse, you might even say. Juanita Broderick put this out. Hallelujah. Swalwell referred for criminal charges. Imagine that. No one's above the law, buddy. Mortgage fraud. Hey, same thing they tried to get Trump on. Imagine that. Let's get him, but let's get him on the same thing they got me for. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, shall we? And there is Red Pill News again. Copper is toxic?
Toxic. Well, the real reason So you want to know the real reason they tell you copper is toxic? Well, the real reason they tell you that copper is toxic is copper has the ability to electrically charge a human body, which is another reason why they zap you back to life. And that's exactly why in the 1800s that houses were full of copper piping and they had a water fountain scattered over the world that you could drink from freely, which were made from copper. Now, the majority of your body is also made from copper and carbon. So how can copper be toxic? And copper and carbon actually create electricity. So then humans are electrical beings. Therefore, if we do not have electricity, our body will not function, which is why we need copper. And that explains why they're replacing the copper pipes with plastic. Now, they also found that copper can help with inflammation in the body and osteoporosis. And back in the 1800s, if you were to walk into a hospital riddled with inflammation, they'd sit you on a hospital bed made from linen and give you a copper cup and a copper bracelet as well, depending on where you were feeling the pain. This was in the 1800s. So you then have to ask the question, why are we not taught this in schools about the benefits of copper? And why does the media say that it's bad when it's named the king of all minerals? It just does not make any sense.
It's probably why they got rid of the penny, too. Interesting, you might even say. Oh, boy. I didn't want to show that. What does a Democrat have to do to get arrested in this country? Good question. What do they have to do? Here's some uplifting video of Kaya Trump. Let's check this out.
Come play a part 3 with me at my LPG tour. Thank you.
Hit it.
Yeah. He's a good golfer.
That would win if you don't get it there.
All right, guys, we birdied it. Eight. Yay.
She's a really good golfer. I bet Trump is so proud. Oh, here we go. Watch this.
Just hear those sleigh bells ting-a-ling-a-ring-a-ting-a-ting-a-ling-a-too. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding-a-ding. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with a Jew. Outside the snow is falling.
Oh no!
Just hear those sleigh bells ting-a-ling-a-ring-a-ting-a-ting-a-ling-a-too. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding-a-ding. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with a Jew. Outside the snow is falling.
There's another video that actually shows like a mouse running over some of them. The guy just whisks him away. No problem. No problem. Oh, yeah. And Cap 78 Pack, Peggy Dancer says, she's a great golfer and a genuinely great young woman. I follow Kaya. Yeah, I think I do too. That's why I get her stories. Isn't that something? India. That's not so sanitary. There's another video that shows a mouse, and also they show the water. They pour this filthy water. They don't use clean water to make this with. I don't think a lot of them don't have access to clean water. It's disgusting. And James Rohrbach, I shared the usual Indian vid too. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yes, sure is. But good to know. Darn good to know. Yeah, I think we'll skip that. This film has been declassified. This is what you came for the to the show tonight for, folks. This is great. I'm going to get this a little bit bigger. Oh, Doggone it. Oh, shoot. All right.
In recent years, Air Force personnel have reported an increase in encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena, commonly referred to as UFOs. While the Air Force does not claim to know the origin, intent, or technological nature of these objects, we do know how to keep you safe. If you encounter an unidentified object while airborne, remain calm. Avoid aggressive maneuvers. Avoid attempting to match its speed. You will fail. Do not, under any circumstances, engage in hostile maneuvers. Log the sighting. Communicate with tower. And remember, if the object performs a 90-degree turn at Mach 12, that's not a challenge. It's a warning. If an unidentified craft is hovering over your base, please report it to your local operations officer or security officer. In the rare event that an unidentified craft lands suddenly, your responsibilities are simple. Step 1, remain calm. Step 2, contact your chain of command immediately. Step 3, do not attempt to peek inside. We cannot stress this enough. If asked by local civilians what you saw, the correct response is weather balloon. If they ask again, the correct response is still weather balloon. Stay alert. Stay prepared. And when in doubt, report it up the chain.
Isn't that interesting? Apparently, this is a declassified film. I don't know. With all this AI going on, you never know, but interesting nonetheless. Nonetheless. Oh, did you hear about this? This is pretty interdasting.
These photos change everything we know about why the Epstein files were not released a few weeks ago when there was a vote in the Senate. It shows Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican from Alaska, at a forum with Ghislaine Maxwell and her husband, Scott Borgeson. You may have missed this because it was on the same day that Charlie Kirk died, but Senator Murkowski was the deciding vote not to release the Epstein files. So we wanted to understand why she would vote against this. And we spent weeks finding out exactly what her connections were to Jeffrey Epstein. And what we found was a tangled web of connections in Alaska, the senator's home state. In fact, it all comes down to power and a series of meetings and events where they talked about the Arctic Circle and they lobbied and tried to expand it, which would obviously help Alaska and Ghislaine Maxwell's husband, who was doing a lot of business, maritime business in the Arctic Circle. There's also a connection to a wealthy Murkowski donor, Alice Rogoff, who just so happened to be Ghislaine Maxwell's friend and the owner of the Alaska Dispatch. So how Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein are connected to Murkowski just pretty much explains how Washington works and why these survivors have been waiting around for so many years for answers. And maybe this holds the key as to whether or not they'll finally get the answers. It certainly explains how insidious Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's connections were to power. You can check out my latest report at
Isn't that interesting? Murkowski. One of the worst rhinos out there. Never votes with Trump. Here we go. Caroline.
Again, it's not a coincidence to the American people at home. There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C. And it is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government. This is another distraction campaign by the Democrat and the liberal media. And it's why I'm being asked questions about Epstein instead of the government reopening because of Republicans and President Trump. Reagan. Again, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, we all know that. Yep. And of course, RFK Jr. was on Epstein's plane a couple of times with his family, just going to Florida. So no big. This is good. Oh, the best. This is pretty good. Check this out.
Mum said if you get her one more bad present,
Yeah.
she'll burn it.
Right.
So I'm thinking we should get her a candle. Mum said if you get her one more bad present,
Yeah.
she'll burn it.
Right.
So I'm thinking we should get her a candle. Mom said.
Isn't that cute? Oh my God. Pretty smart kid, I'd say. Pretty smart kid. Oh, check this out. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. the third. Let's listen to what he says.
Yeah, I mean, my wife is a warrior for truth. You know, she's in there trying to reform the intelligence agencies. It's a miracle that there's a moral person in there these days.
Yeah.
And, you know, she can't even tell me what she's working on half the time. She's a Q clearance. But
explain to people what that means. It's above,
you know,
it's above the president, isn't it?
Above top secret, or you know.
Yeah.
But, it's like why QAnon was called QAnon.
Interesting.
I would say though that you know, it's Washington is turning. What do they say about turning a battleship? Right? You know, it's a hard thing to do. I think, but we're now in an era where we've got AI that can potentially make connections that would take a human a lifetime in seconds. So I think it's making it a lot easier to kind of see where the money's moving and follow it.
Isn't that interesting? His wife has Q clearance, and he mentions QAnon. So interesting. Oh, what's this? Oh, let's listen to this important thing going on here.
This is called the End the Shutdown Bill. In this bill, we finally recognize that Democrats are worthless pieces of shit with no plan whatsoever, and they should all be thankful you're not deporting them back to Retardistan.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades.
Yeah.
And everything will be revealed.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So this is called the End the Shutdown Bill.
Not deporting them to Retardistan. Retardistan. Oh yeah. Former Illinois Democrat Party Chair Mike Madigan sentenced to 7.5 years and $2.5 million for bribery, racketeering, extortion, and fraud. And yes, he was the chair when Obama got elected in the state of Illinois. Oh, for all those Democrats, you are here. We've got him now. No, you don't. You never will. Oh boy, they'll never learn. They just will never, ever learn. Oh, do you know why it's illegal to talk to dolphins?
Did you know it's illegal to communicate with a dolphin? You know that?
Yes. Do you know why?
Why is that?
So I think it was 1927, because I just looked this up recently, because they stopped in Hawaii now. You can't take the boats out to swim with the dolphins. It's illegal. It's cruel for the animals. And I was like, okay, I mean,
Cruel for the animals.
it's like, it's cruel for the dolphins, but we'll dump into the ocean for them. Like
Daily, yeah.
They taught dolphins how to track their enemy ships and how to put different like explosives onto the ship. And they could communicate with humans, and that they were learning how to communicate back and forth. And they didn't want people to learn that because dolphins will tell them what's going on under the ocean.
And that's what I heard too.
Wow.
Whenever my sister sent us the story maybe like last year or something. She was like, "Did you know that you couldn't talk to dolphins?" I was like, "We can't talk to dolphins. They're dolphins." And she was like, "No." And she sent this story, and I was like, "So we can't? How can we communicate?" She was like, "I don't know." And I looked it up a little bit, and it was like dolphins know stuff that they don't want us to know. I was like,
Isn't that interesting? It sheds a little bit of light on it. I didn't really think about that angle of it, why that would be. Here he is reopening the government, and I think, oh, look at this. I don't know if this is real. In Canada, a cigar-shaped craft. It looks kind of fake to me. I don't know.
As Forças Armadas dos Estados Unidos derrubaram um objeto não identificado que sobrevoava o estado do Alasca nesta sexta-feira, dia 10 de fevereiro.
Yeah, it's in Spanish. But I don't know if that's true or real or not. It kind of looks like it might be real, but who knows, right? U.S. and Canada shoot down cylindrical UFO. I haven't heard it anywhere else, so I just don't know. Yeah, well, we'll see. I guess if that comes out. Oh, and there's our last show. That's going to be it, folks. And Skylark says, I continue to believe that flying saucers, at least in their 1940s and 50s forms, are not, or maybe were not, bulletproof. So many of the crash UFO incidents were a result of military intercepts. It very, very well could be, yes. And Peggy Dancer says, at least dolphins would be nice about what they share and not a shark-like bite that sharks take. Yeah, right? And Skylark says, I find that one hard to believe. The object shouldn't be tumbling like that. If it looks like a balloon in a crosswind or falling object. It could be. And Kathy says, good night. And I want to thank you all for coming along, hitting the old thumbs up and sharing us on out so we can get more friends in Chatlandia. That would be nice. And everyone who is following me on Rumble, you're very welcome to go over to YouTube and follow me there too, and vice versa. The links are in the description below. So I hope that that happens and we can get everybody all on both platforms. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? It would. It would. And Chroniviewer says, great show, Aaron. God bless, my friend. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. And thank you all so very much. And a big thanks to our Ultra Mods because they help to make this possible. So they're very important. So thank you, Ultra Mods. You guys rock. And tonight, I think we had, well, Catherine Weiss, Peggy Dancer, and Mud Rabbit. And were there others? Oh, yeah. James Rohrback is a mod, too. So thanks to you all for modding tonight. That's great. Too cool for school, you might even say. And James Rohrback gives the old thumbs up and the muscle. And I said, thank you all so very much. And Cap 78 Pack Peggy Dancer says, great show, Aaron. God bless you all. Much love and peace in. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Yes, thank you very much. Skylark, thank you, Aaron. You're welcome, buddy. I appreciate you. And alrighty then. Well, thanks again for coming along. We do this Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at right around 9 p.m. Central Time. Why? Because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. So keep that camera pointed to the skies so you can take a picture of that crazy UFO and come on to the Truth Quest and talk about it. We'd love to hear about your UFO stories. Wouldn't we now? We sure would. All right. Well, thanks again. And remember, peace is coming. Peace in. And we're talking about world peace, baby. World peace. Peace in. Thank you very much. Oh, Skylark says good night. Truth Questers and James Rohrback, God bless. Thank you. Peace in. Peace.